Wow, this is a big board, definitely. It's like, it takes all my table space, so I can't even play it on the full width of my kitchen table because it's just too huge. Of course, this board is not included in the box. You can purchase it on their website for $10 and print it out. And of course, that's what I did, because the game is stunningly beautiful. I just love how it looks. Just look at those figures. It's all those details. It's great. So of course I had to paint it before I even played the game. Just wow, that's it. Anyway, this is a game that is kind of a sequel to Mice and Mystics, but it's not. It's just kind of a spiritual sequel. Well, you have the same theme at least. But how does this game play? Does it play as good as it looks? Let's find out.
Hello.
In this game, you have the evil versus the good. Well, in the Mice and Mystics game, you had the rats who were the guards of the evil queen, and they were hunting for the good prince and his team and loyal subjects. So in this game, you are also the same. You have two teams. So this is a two-player game. One player plays the evil team, and the other player plays the good team, the mice. So the mice versus rats, in fact. The evil team, they have two birds here. They have, see, it's Chumjo on Runk and Snag on Grizzard. It's the other way around. And they have a lot of soldiers here, Snag commandos. And they have Stabora, the hero. So the good team does not have Stabora. Instead, they have three birds. Yeah, so it's kind of an imbalance there. Well, not imbalance, but they have asymmetrical point of it. And the game is like an army building game. You build your army depending on the cost of the units. And of course, you can just skip that and use the recommended or suggested army for each scenario. And the game comes with 5 scenarios that you can play. But it does come with more. But let's find out how this game plays. One thing that's cool about this game is you can bring in your Mice and Mystic figures. Yeah, this game comes with cards, and those cards represent the figures you have in Mice and Mystics. So you can bring the figures into this game and play them as any other unit. So you have a lot of more expandability. And yeah, we'll get back to that later actually. Here we have the good team, we have 3 birds and some mice in the background here. In this game you're playing through phases, and each round has 4 phases, starting with the mission phase. And the mission phase is kind of the most critical part of the game, because they have missions here that are hidden. You have 6 to choose from, and you can send out missions, units on that mission. So I choose a mission, I place the mission near the center, and I delegate some figures, let's say 4, and I put them here on the mission track, because each player has this board here and says mission and reserves, and I place them on the mission. These mice are no longer able to fight here on the table, of course, because they are on the mission. And yeah, I don't know what the enemy is about. The missions are highly valuable. They allow you to attack a bird anywhere on the board. You can attack the opponent's mission dudes, those that are here. You can suddenly just transport them to the enemy tree or another tree. And you can rescue a bird, even a fallen comrade, if you want to. So the missions are very powerful and should not be underestimated. And the first time we played the game, we just ignored the mission, and well, that was a waste. After the mission phase, we have the tilt phase, and this is where the game becomes complicated, because each bird here, they have a tilt. They can go this left, middle, or right, and they can even be perched by being backwards. So now all these birds are perched because they are backwards. So now we just have to choose their direction and see where they go. And the start player from the previous round, he tilts after the second player, so the second player has a disadvantage there. And after that we choose who has the initiative for the next round, and then we can start activating the units, and this is where the game begins. On my turn, I can activate one of the units here, or groups. I can activate Stabora, or Snag Commandos, all the figures, or just at least some of them, or one of the birds. So I'm gonna activate this bird here, and he has to go straight forward now, because he's on the branch, he's perched on the branch. So what I do now is to announce how far I will go. I have 3 templates to go through. I have, well, not 3, but 2. I have short and long template. So I have to announce beforehand. I cannot measure how far we go. Let's say long. Okay, I will gather the templates, place the long in front of the figure, long and long, straight ahead, and then move the figure to the end, like so. So now the movement is done, and I can maybe attack or something, if I'm able to do that, but let's get to that later. Another thing, you remember the tilt phase? It's either tilted straight flat or to the left or to the right. So let's say I tilt to the left. When I move now, I have to go to the left. And okay, I'm gonna announce 3 steps now because you can move 3. I'm gonna say long, short, long, just to make it short. So long, short, long. Let's see. Gather templates. Long and short and long. So notice now I have to turn to the left, following these lines here, and follow in there. So you might have noticed that the templates here are kind of different. The short one has a more steeper angle than the long one, so you have to do a more sharper turn. So you can make a U-turn if you have enough of these to go by, or you might crash into something. It's kind of hard to measure with just your eye and how these line up, but you know, with practice you get more attuned to it. So you might do something bad or something clever, or yeah, that's kind of it's kind of up to you actually. But this is kind of interesting. A comparison is X-Wing, the miniatures game. You have templates to follow depending on your speed and your right to left. But there you only have 3 speeds, and it's right to left or middle. Here you have a lot. Short, long, short, long, 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 short. You can have 4 depending on the speed. So yeah, they actually had hundreds of templates if they didn't do this. So it works. It does its use. Okay, I just moved here, and now I'm able to attack. So let's see how far I am. This is not very far, but to figure out how far I am, I use this stick here. And you see it's divided in 2. You have this leaf here that's wrapped around the twig, and the twig area. So in order to see the range, I just put it like this, and if by the bases, and if the leaf touches the base of the target, I'm in close range. In close range means I can use swords to attack with instead of bows, because ranged is much harder to hit with than melee. But okay, I have 2 dice in melee, and I got 2 swords. So now he can roll defense depending on his shield value, and if he rolls shield, she cancels 1 hit, and that's combat. Otherwise, I have to roll bow and arrow to hit in range if I was this far away. So then I will only get 1 die actually, because he has a very low hit rating on ranged. And that is combat in a nutshell. Well, this game has a lot of rules, a lot of them. And of course I'm not going to go into them because it's going to take a whole while. But Rodney Smith on YouTube, he has gone in and made a whole video of this and all the rules explanations. And it lasts a long time, but if you really want to learn this game by video, then check out Rodney Smith's How to Play. And now let's just continue with this review. If I ever move my bird into the enemy bird, they will enter what is called a death spiral. So they will go like this, round and round, and fight each other in 2 rounds until one of them wins, or they both fall into the ground and die. So this is an interesting way because the rat warriors, they want death spirals, they get bonuses from it, while the rangers or the good team, they don't want death spiral, they just want to attack on range. One slight thing about the game is that the figures, they're too big actually. It's the base that matters when you're counting range and stuff. So if this one wants to tilt to center, well, he kind of can't unless we actually do some mixing here. So let's just move this away and then there. Let's go. It's a minor thing, but sometimes it just becomes too compact and you try to move these guys around and they will shove some, so it will be very inaccurate and clumsy, and it will happen a lot because the figures are huge actually. They're a lot bigger than the base. So another problem is, let's say these 2 are friendly figures, so they won't enter death spiral, and he moves like this, long and short and long. Okay, so I just kind of have to move this here like so, right? And hold it here and move this figure. Okay. Let's see. I need a hand here, so hold him please. Okay, you see the problem here? It happens too often that the figures are just too big, and yeah, I'm not a big fan of this actually. Moving the ground units is a different matter. It is very easy. We just activate the group, and in this case we can activate up to 3 different figures in this group, and they can move independently. So 1, 2, and 1, 2 for instance, and then they can attack. Very, very simple. One more thing about the ground units. They can use the leaf. So they can move 1, 2 here, and 1, 2 here, 1, 2 here. And the last figure will use his combat action to cut off the branch here. And so we roll die. We have a 2. Then we count the number of figures. 3, 4, 5. So 5 in total. Then we use the twig and put it in the hole here. And we can do 5 180 degrees rotation against the tree we want. So 1, 2, oh come on, 3, 4, and 5. So they didn't manage to get entire way to the trunk, but at the end of the phase, the leaves will drift on, and then they can go on land and start shooting the next round. So it's kind of a cool thing. Wow, okay, this game. There's a lot more to this game, of course, and I just gone through kind of the basics of it. What I like about this game is that it's a theme. It's mice and rats fighting against each other, riding on birds, on freaking birds. So yeah, totally cool theme, and it's gorgeous to look at. And yeah, grab this mat here if you want to play it, because it's totally worth it if you can manage to print it out. But I do have some negative sides as well. Well, first off, the figures are too big. As you saw, they will crash into each other, and these will be clumsy as well, trying to fit them in between those figures here, like, oh, okay, I'm gonna move up there and so forth. And the rule book is a mess. Well, when you read it once, it's okay, but it has a problem with finding what you want afterwards. For instance, perching. What is perching? Well, it says in the beginning that when you move a bird, when it's perched, that is, when it's on a branch, you can only go forward. Okay, fine enough. Then how do you perch? Let's see, look at the index, perching. Well, it's when they're on a branch. Can I just stop on a branch? So let's say there's some figures here, and I land the enemy lands his figure on that branch. What happens then? Can I perch then? No, but depending on this template here, what happens then? And I'm spending so much time using the rules and following the clues that are therein, and still I can't find anything. I used a totally long time just to get perching, and that's one example. And there are many more examples or problems with the rules, and they're unclear and hard to find once you read it. Once more, check out Rodney Smith's How to Play, because he will go through everything for you. And yeah, that helped me a lot anyway. Otherwise, the rules are they're a bit complex. So there is one game I will compare, and that is X-Wings, the miniatures game from Friends of Light, because they use a similar path system to move the figures. And in X-Wing, it's a very simple game. It's easy to learn, it's easy to get into, and it's easy to play. There's no more complex rules other than adding more complex ships. And in X-Wing, when it was launched, you could immediately buy some expansions, some extra TIE fighters and extra X-Wings, and build up your army. In this game, you can't. You're limited to the figures that are in the base game, and you can add the Mice and Mystics components. And if you do that, then you have more variety. And the game always only comes with a few scenarios in the box. And well, they're fine enough, but once they're done, I don't really feel like playing them again, because I tried it now. And that is one thing. The game comes with a lot of cards. You can build your own scenarios, and you can build your armies. And that's one more thing, actually. The armies, well, that's why I said this game needs expansions. You only have like 3 pilots on the mouse team and 3 birds. So you can switch places on those, and that's kind of it. And it doesn't really make that big of a difference. What this game is more stuff. And adding the Mice and Mystics will help on that. And the scenario builder will make it a bit more varied, but still it's the same units doing the same things. Well, not the same things, but the same maneuvers and actions all over and over again. So, yeah, this game really needs more. Come on, more thing. Especially when it's so complex to learn. It took me half an hour to learn X-Wing, and this one took me 3 hours to learn almost. It's crazy. So I'm really struggling here to recommend this game or not. If you like this, if you love the theme and want to have more of the theme, yeah, go for it. Especially if you have Mice and Mystics, then you have a lot more to get into. If you don't have Mice and Mystics or haven't tried X-Wing yet, then I would recommend you try X-Wing first and see if you like that, because it has a lot more to offer, in my opinion, so far. This is a new game, of course, so I want to give it a chance. I'm gonna keep this copy, especially once I painted it, and see what happens in the future, if there will come more expansions, and then I will see if it would change anything, in my opinion. So the game has a lot more to offer. I just went through some basic stuff, as you quite understood, and if you really want to learn the game, check out Roger Smith's How to Play, Tail Feathers, and yeah. But right now, I'm kind of on the fence on this game. I would recommend you try X-Wing first, and maybe this one later. If you get this one, try to get this mat. It's awesome. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope you got an impression on whether you like this game or not. And see you next time. Bye.